Alright, so the King Boo is back again with another video, and today we have got the big one. This might be quite a long video. I just finished recording this. This is in the past. This is an incredibly long video. Please don't watch this all in one sitting, or watch it on in like the background while you're grinding, or at the gym, or going for a run, something like that. Anyways, back to the intro. You'll have known because you clicked on the video, you've seen how long it is, but it's going to be my entire grinding history, my entire grinding career, summarized, broken down, each like little bit, all the major bits. Here now, one video. And yeah, it's going to be quite long. I'm going to do this in multiple parts. I normally do all my videos in just one take, but I'm going to actually plan bits out for this. So yeah, it's going to take me quite a long time. And I'm also going to put in replays from like streams and videos in the past. So there's not going to be any like new replays in the background, but I'm going to take some really old bits like from each like time period that it was kind of like we're talking about, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. You have to say, check out the cool buttons quickly. I'll try not to take too long, but yeah, say subscribe button if you're new, please. That helps us a lot. We are 47 subscribers away from the time of recording this to 1,000, so yeah, really appreciate if you get us there. The like button, this is going to take me, I'm going to edit this a lot, it's going to take many hours, so if you could just take 2 seconds to like the video, that would be really make me very happy. No, the time was well spent. And then the comment section, yeah, just comment something, your favourite moment from the grind. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you a word today, just your favourite moment from the grind. Or when you started joining the channel, when you the first grind that you saw us, that made you follow the channel, something like that. But yeah, without further ado,
let's get ready for the ultimate rumble!
alright, so the first part of the grind, we got part one, we're going to call King Boo the Noob. So just to quickly, I'm going to quickly gloss over how we got to our first grind. So we started playing the game in 2013. I just played with my cousin on holiday, but you know, nothing serious. I played before arenas, so I used to just play assault mode because there was a defense mode and assault mode. There was no like powers, there was no game modes or anything like that. There was just assault mode. I don't think there was even a leaderboard. There definitely wasn't badges. Then was playing a bit, played when the arenas update got released. That was cool. And then kind of after 2014-15, didn't really play too much with like, I'd have the game on my iPad all the time, but I wouldn't really sign in very often. And I would never, like, I played one, I remember the highest arena I'd played in around that kind of period. Before 2019, end of 2019, I really started to get back into the game again. Was I mainly just played in White Wasteland. I went into Lead Dungeon once and thought, wow, that was crazy. I just rigged so many medallions. Anyways, yeah, so that was the start bit. I bought the Cobra at that time as well, which is quite handy because I've made quite a few accounts since, and every account I've made has had the Cobra straight away. So when I'm doing like making new accounts, every single game I can just go Cobra and then something, and then I can just send like round 11 rushes in straight from the start, and bits like that's been quite helpful. And then yeah, end of 2019, started playing the game again, and then started to get a little bit better. But it wasn't until then 2020, I'm not got any screenshots really from this time. I might find one old account screenshot, but from after the first grind I did. But yeah, it was a bit wild. It was like April, May time of 2020. Essentially, we'd never played in BFB before this day. We'd done a few more pit games with a little bit of improvement, but like we weren't like consistently winning in more pit, especially when it was the only arena out. I'd actually did a bit of Vortex, so I'd done 50% in Vortex, which is quite funny because since then I've actually had worse Vortex win rates. And I remember I started one time Vortex and I had only 100k meds, and then I went 50-50, but getting all the like 70ks then got me to like a top 1,000 badge or something, which then gave me like another 20k, which was actually like huge for me at the time. So that was kind of cool. And yeah, anyway, at the start of the grind we had only 200k medallions, and I was basically had no idea what this was going to be. Just wanted to try and get, I didn't really know what my expectations were. I was just like, if I could get a top 100 badge, that would be really cool. And it ended up turning out to be quite a bit more. So yeah, I was in the Mr. Lopez clan, Basically, the plan I had, I just unlocked Budget Gem Pack Cripple, basically all in Rainbow Ruins, where I was doing very well in there. And yeah, so I was decided I'm just going to use Budget Gem Pack Cripple because you had 3 budget balloons, 3 gem packs, and in the Cripple, all the things are now 25% for attack speeds, pierce, and range. Either the attack speed or the pierce used to be 50% reduction with Cripple. And yeah, basically in this update, they just nerfed the entire thing. So my entire plan was just to use that the whole time and just see what we could do, how long until we run out of medallions, something like that. But yeah, they nerfed it like about 3 hours in the grind, so that was pretty annoying. So we ended up having to like change up our strats a bit. I started using some quickshot TTS, started using that again, just kind of mixing stuff up. But I only really had the aggro power, so I couldn't change too much up. And we managed to hold a pretty solid 50% in Moab Pit the first day. I can't remember how many hours we played. We definitely weren't like all night or anything like that, but we were playing like a decent amount throughout the days. And yeah, the first 2 miles we were pretty much going 50%, just licking around the 200k medallion mark. Then we just kind of fluctuated everywhere. We eventually got up to like 400, 450k at one point, which was kind of mad. But then we lose a load again. In BFB, we did a couple BFB games, but BFB, we were getting kind of like dominated. When we got DCs though, that felt like huge, because a lot of players would see my account, only top 1,000 badges, no prestige or tiny prestige, and they're just DC and stuff. But anyways, throughout the whole grind, we ended up getting to a position where we were, I think, 10th on the leaderboard. But we were in like 1 million ahead by boss day of top 4, and I was thinking, wow, if we can get a top 3 UK badge, that would be amazing. Since I've like never even gone top 100 before, and the UK is a really big region. So yeah, we kept grinding. We tried the bosses. A lot of like these boss arenas. I'd only done Vortex before, so we got to Vortex, and we had literally only 70k. We only had 70k meds. We got quite a few wins. We then ran out of medallions by like a little bit. Had to go into Ceramic Crucible, got more wins, then got back into Vortex, and then won like 3 more games. But that was crazy, and that gave me like a mil lead after it. The guy was actually gaining on us for 4th, but that got us to 9 mil, which is pretty much where we ended up. We didn't try Vortex cards or anything like that. We just slept on there, and the guy didn't try and catch us, and we got what was probably the best feeling badge the entire time I grinded, I guess, probably. Maybe the world record was close, and so many other ones, but yeah, probably the best one, that T3 UK badge, 9 mil on our first ever grind, and like the T1, the T100 badge, getting 150k from that was like huge at the time, because we were like dead broke, and the chest we got from the Mr. Lopez clan also gave us loads of medallions. And yeah, that was the first grind. We also got someone on there named themselves King Poo on the leaderboard, which was kind of funny, a direct hit at me. But I didn't think in like 9th global anyone really cared what I did, but I found that kind of funny. Now we're gonna move on to mid-August, I think. It's like ill or something in mid-August, and we did our first top 3 grind. So yeah, this was a while ago. It was on a Spegger week, I believe, so we had lots of free power-ups out. And yeah, I remember there was basically 4 players mainly. There was me, there was No Skill, there was Alka, who, no beef with him at this time, just another random UK grinder, and then there was Arfan, who just notoriously heard loads about, and he had the super clean account going, and it was like the cleanest account I'd ever seen at the time. So talked to him quite a bit. He was encouraging me quite a bit. That was nice, even though No Skill was from his country. He just didn't care about him, which I found kind of funny. But yeah, I can't remember exactly how it went. I got some like videos on it. I got the first video of my channel was the badge collection for that. But yeah, that was a really cool moment as well. We won by like 1 million. I knew No Skill had gotten badges before. We were never catching Alqua. He was always too far ahead. But yeah, just put some like solid shifts in BFB. Not going very high win rate at all. I don't think we even got might not even on being on prestige, or very low prestige. I know I tried Spegger cards with absolutely no clue how to play it. And we got a couple wins, but like we went so low win rate, kept feeding our fans wins, so that was kind of bad. But yeah, that was that, and we got to 20 mil, which was pretty much double my last grind. So I was really happy with the progress I'd made since then. And I think I was in a clan then or something, because we then started to get a decent amount of beds on the account, and like we weren't anywhere near, like we are on the verge of bankruptcy every single time in the first grind, but that grind we were much more afloat. And then yeah, getting that top 3 badge, which is still one of the coolest looking badges. I think the top one and top 1 prestige probably my favourite too, just because they have a special meaning that you have beaten everyone else on the week. But yeah, look wise, top 3 badge has to be like, for me, one of the best ones out there. And yeah, I don't think we ended up on prestige, but we got the 20 mil, we got the top 3, we beat no skill by 1 mil. That moved us into our next 2 grinds, which we got. They were basically 2 second places. One of them was a second place badge, another one was a third place badge, but I got the third place badge because I didn't really like the second place badge as much, and we were basically leading. So one of them, I can't remember what happened, we just got bodied by Jimmy or something. Another one, we were leading until like Spire, and then we got kind of bodied on that day by Jimmy again. But what will we say about this? Yeah, it was just a better grinder. The way more experienced grinders always going to be able to beat us. I can't remember what the dates of these grinds were. And oh yeah, and the second one, there was just me and this other guy were very close, but like none of us really played at all on the Sunday because we just knew we'd been beaten. There was not really much to do, and it was a boost only day, which we were significantly worse at than we are now, and we're not very good at it now, so you can imagine why we didn't try and grind that in BFB. But that leads us on to the last grind from the King Boo the Noob era, which is also on this account, where this account comes to an end, which is of course the grind that was named the top 3 prestige grind, which we did eventually get top 2 prestige before the account got flagged. But the main thing we're going to be talking about is the top 1 badge, which was yeah. So we started the week out, we just wanted to get top 3 prestige badge. That was the only aim. We were getting more consistent. It felt like something that could happen, and we had some really good days. We had our first BFB day, which I played not quite 24 hours, but like pretty close. And I remember I got 8 mil, I think, leaderboard score, and 2.6 mil prestige, which was amazing for us at the time. Remember I did my first like YouTube live streams in that around that time, and we did get quite a lot of DCs in that, which probably helped us score quite a bit. But no, that was our first bit, and yeah, we basically went into boss day about 1 mil behind Outcra, and I wasn't really bothered about T1. I just thought he's a more experienced grinder, we'll let him have it. But then the guy I just talked about, Jimmy, who had denied us many times already of the T1 badge, he came to me actually, which I'm not sure how many people know this, but he came to me and said, I don't like this guy, do you want to account share so that we can beat him? And originally I said I'll think about it, I wasn't sure, but then I'll just put up some messages. He just sent me these like disgusting kind of messages, and I really just decided I didn't like the guy anymore. I never like talked to him before, but I really didn't like him, didn't think it was very sporting, so I was like, alright, let's just, and I just thought a bit of fun. I wasn't very good at boss at this time either, not practiced it that much, so I was like, let's just let Jimmy log onto the account, beat him up, not beat him, but just beat him a load of times, take the T1 badge, and a bit scummy, but this guy was also pretty scummy, and I was just thinking, I just see someone who I kind of almost idolize, and like, do you want me to help you out on something that he's basically denied me on? And I was like, alright, just spur of the moment, probably the biggest mistake I'd ever made, but yeah, we did that, and Jimmy managed to outgrind him. We got the first T1 badge collected. We did most of it ourselves. We also, on the Friday, because it was Spire Cards Week, we didn't play in BFB T0 on T0 day. If we'd done that, we would have beaten him legit. But as I said before, the only aim from the grind that week was to get a top 3 prestige badge, and I wasn't confident in going positive prestige in T0 at that time at all. So that's why I did more pit on that day, and that's why the gap was so big. Like, I closed a huge gap. I don't know if I have the screenshot of the leaderboard gap I closed, but in the free power-ups, I was like dominating. I was getting like more than 3 mil more than Alk was getting in those days. It was nuts. Then the second week of that, we kind of had a pretty much similar prestige with Mr. Lopez, and we kind of extended a little bit in Moab, kind of held it, extended it a little bit in the first BFB free power-ups day. But then in Spire, he closed it a lot, and then it was BFB T0 day, he overtook us, and we couldn't quite catch back up to him, but so we got T2 prestige badge, and he got T1 prestige, but I like that guy, so I was like, obviously not going to do anything to stop him then. No one offered anything, and I didn't hate him, so I'm never going to do anything against anyone like that. So yeah, we got T2 prestige badge, we kind of stopped playing for a while, logged back in, and we'd been flagged because Jimmy had ratted out the fact that he shared with us, but yeah, I wasn't new at the time. I didn't even know it was against terms of service or anything like that. I was just kind of new at the game. I didn't really go on Discord very much or look at it very much. It was just a bit surprising, but oopsie daisy. But yeah, so we lost our account, which had 125 million medallions and gold projectiles unlocked from 2013, which was a bit annoying, but we knew how to make new accounts by then. We'd already done like a Zero to Hero series that we'd started, so we had another account that we could play on. It wasn't the end of the world, just pretty annoying. And yeah, it probably ended up meaning we made our grinding account, which ended up being one of the best things grinding wise that we have from the grinding career. So I guess that's a slight positive from it. I just got a few other things to talk about. Is yeah, the reason I got so many medallions was I got so many big chests at the time. Like, I was consistently getting like 40 mil chest 10s, and then yeah, so I'll just mention a few of them. There was a Division chest 10, which was the world record at the time. A load of other chest 10s. There was the Brian, when chest 11s came out, there was Tempest Void. I didn't do that one, but the one after, we did the, I think this is still to date the fastest ever chest 11 has been gotten, doing the Brian's Clan chest 11 grind. And if you want to hear a video about chest 11 grind, like a recap of that, because that was a pretty epic moment, I'm going to put up a list of the grinders who were down doing the grind on the screen now. If you want to, yeah, just see how many big names are there. And these are amazing names like Devil, and I'll maybe put other names that I just remember that are on the screen now. But yeah, that was kind of huge. And yeah, that's how we got so many medallions. I'll put on the screen how many medallions we gained approximately overall. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And yeah, other thing, I guess, it was I started talking to some around this time. A load of other UK players, such as BTDJL, Devil a bit, and then Yikes when he got the epic T2 badge way of being off prestige, which was pretty legendary. He probably spent like not that much. He probably spent 100 hours on that T2. I can't lie, because the amount of games played was probably only 200 less, I calculated, than when I did the former world record. So that was pretty mad. But yeah, that's going to conclude the part 1, which is King Boo the Noob. Alright, so part 2 of the grinding career recap is going to be named King Boo the Somebody, which I think is a fair title, because we're not really anyone before. We've not really gotten a legit T1 yet at this point in our grinding career. We've not really done too much. So I'm going to start off with our first T1 legit grind, which was October 2021. I just joined university, just done a half marathon a week after joining university and on Freshers Week. So we were very, very ill following this. And so, yeah, I was kind of just locked in my room or forced just to be in my room, super ill for like 2 weeks. So we decided we could try grinding balloons again. There was a few other good players on the leaderboard, but I think I just had more time. Like, yeah, I definitely had more time because I think like A's was the main one at the time, who was pretty good. But and like I think I finished T1 with like third on prestige or something at the start of the week. But yeah, we grinded hard and we managed to pull out the T1, which was pretty cool. We ended up, I think he aced and stopped on like the Saturday or the Sunday in the end, which was cool because we could just really get nice and clear, and on boss there was like no stress, and yeah, not the most emotional I've been for the end of a badge, because it was kind of like we kind of got it before and now we've properly got it. And that was on our 0 to hero account, so the point of that was to go from a fresh account to a T1 badge as a kind of a bit more of an extension to a rags to riches. So we did that, we accomplished that goal, so that was cool. And yeah, so the idea of that was that from grinding going forwards, we were going to do, because on that time that account only had T1000 badges and lower, because we didn't collect our T100 prestige or our T100 badge that we'd got on before, because I stopped playing the game for a while, and there was more than a few months, so after that time you can't collect the badges anymore. So yeah, that happened. So we can just go for that, and then we can make a new account and we can just do top 100 badges and better on it. So I made this account and I just did a tier. I'd only played like the Friday, Saturday, and a little bit of boss, I think. So I made the account on a Friday, and yeah, we just didn't do anything too special. We did a T1 badge, not T1 badge, a T1 UK badge, which was quite fortunate because it wasn't that high. A T30 prestige badge, and a yeah T100 badge as well, of course, as part of the not trying too hard, but also getting the T1 UK. And yeah, at the time I thought this was pretty good. I'm going to play a clip from around that time. And it's going to be a recap of how the couple day grind went on the fresh account. So we've got these cool looking badges. Top 1 UK was. But little did I know was that account was going to get significantly cooler, as that account has now become our epic grinding account, our legacy account that we have made. And yeah, from that point we have gained 7 T1s on it, and a T1 prestige and a T2 prestige, which is yeah, really crazy to think about how much better that account has gotten, but we called those badges cool at the time. But yeah, so we'll go into how we ended up making this grinding account, because I'm not sure a lot of people know this. So January 2022, we had the first T1 on the grinding account. So it's kind of it was a bit of a dead period. I think I was a little bit ill, and I think there was a chest 11 going on, led by Cheap, who was meant to just go like a 30 mil T1, but ended up not doing too much in the week. Like, he kind of stopped at span. I wasn't too far behind him. Then there was Draknar, I think a little bit ahead of me, but I not really done too much. I done like more than I should have, but I wasn't like doing anything like too crazy, I don't think. And then yeah, we were just on the account. I was meant to just get T100s on only, but he stopped playing, and Draknar seemed like an easy out grind, so we grinded pretty hard, did a bit of span. We were really bad at span at the time, so we did mainly 3 power-ups, span, bit of a mix. Quite a lot of span DCs, to be fair, which is why we mainly did that quite a bit, actually. But yeah, a bit of a mix of just everything. And yeah, we ended up at the end of the week getting the T1 badge and being poised for T1 prestige, which was pretty cool. So I thought about it, and yeah, we ended up just going for the grind again. I just wanted to secure T1 prestige, wasn't too bothered about T1 global. But ended up outgrinding Draknar. I got pretty clear. He's French, so I was like, I slept after, I can't remember when I slept, but it would have been like early in the morning for French people. And I was like 2 and a bit mil clear or something. I then woke up after reset. I like slept way too long, and I was only like a win or 2 above, but I secured the T1 badge, and the prestige badge was very safe. So we ended up getting our account looking like this. I believe I have the screenshot. The 2 T1 badges, a T1 prestige, and then the original badges. And we kind of just kept going on from there. That account-wise, we did the double over Draknar, giving Draknar a 2 T2 badges and a T2 prestige, which was quite funny. Whenever I saw that account, oh yeah, I like to chuckle, because it basically was 3 losses all to me. I had all the wins on those, which was quite funny. Kind of like what Jimmy did to me, but me doing to him now. So that was quite enjoyable. We didn't grind again till June. We actually did quite a lot of grinds around this kind of period, like 4 grinds in like 9 months was quite a bit. Probably the most dense period of grinding I ever did. And yeah, and June was probably, almost you could say this is getting into the third part, but yeah, June was our first T1, which was like, we've all of them so far, we'd had to do quite a lot of hours, really trying hard. Win rate's never been very good at all. Never gotten above 70% or anything like that, but I think we started to get to 70% mark and a little bit above. And we weren't grinding as hard. We were getting clear quite early. And I remembered like all the grinds in the past. I think we did chill the first few days and then BFB day on the first one. Of the C11 one. We did really hard. But the first BFB day we did hard. The Moab days were like not too chill, but we weren't doing anything, so we did a decent amount anyways, but like not more than 2 mil, 100% not. Then yeah, the June one was, we didn't do too much more pit, we let people get ahead, and then we just tried really hard for like, I remember I was 4 mil behind, and then did from 9 PM on the Saturday to 2 PM on the Sunday, so like quite a long straight, but I went from 4 mil behind to a mil ahead. And the other people were playing a little bit during this time as well. Not the whole time, because a lot of them were sleeping then, but a decent amount. And we just took T1. And we'd not really done too much before that. Like, we'd done stuff on the Friday. And we weren't fully no-lifing this at all. We were doing stuff. Like, I went to get Domino's after that, I remember, kind of early. I had like a small sleep after that. But yeah, it was really... compared to all the consistently no life, no sleep, crazy number, huge hours, it was pretty chill. And I think I called it How to Get T1 Without No Lifing, which was maybe not quite the correct title, but I think it's the correct title. We did loads of stuff during the week. We got stuff done, which we'd never done on grinds before, so that was cool. That was a pretty good moment. And that was our third T1 on that account as well. We had originally made it so that we were going to only get our tier 1 badges on the Zero to Hero account, which is now our just normal account. We've now made it look a bit more normal with the T3 Prestige. But we just decided, we changed our mind. It was like, let's just get all the T1s. When we're going to go for T1, we feel like we're now just about getting good enough so that pretty much any week we decide T1. As long as no big players are grinding, we can just get T1 on that account and we can make it look really cool. So that was our third T1. The fourth T1 was the controversial one. It was versus Galaxy. And yeah, if you saw that video, you'd have seen what happened. But very, very close. And managed to do crazy hours. Did not sleep enough. It was a span week. We did span, but we didn't know how to do it properly. So when he got 10 mil, he gained loads on us in span. We took the lead in the Friday BFB though, so it kind of evened things out. Him only going a little bit ahead. And yeah, just lack of sleep, too many energy drinks on the span day, got like depression and anxiety. It was like horrible. And then like wasn't eating stuff, just really made so many mistakes that I then ended up learning from and helped us get the world record eventually. But just a bit of a crazy time. Then did loads on the Sunday as well, re-overtook him and ended up catching him just before the reset boosting, so reported him. He ended up getting flagged, and it gave us the easy T1 in the end. We were like 20 mil clear, 37 mil, so our first grind in the 30 mils. But yeah, a bit of a crazy time. He didn't like me very much and got a lot of people to not like me. I didn't play the game for a while, so a lot of them forget, and he ended up admitting that he was actually boosting. He tried to claim he wasn't boosting, and I unfairly flagged him and wasted loads of his time, but we're all cool now. We're good friends again. Good friends. I don't talk to him that much, but when we do, he's calm. He doesn't like hate me anymore or anything like that. So yeah, that was that. Not quite into the 40 mils. I was worried he was sending people out to flag me because I was starting to face quite a lot of hackers, which I had to avoid. So and I was pretty tired at this point, so I didn't go into the 40 mils. The world record at the time was only 42.6 mils, so I could have potentially, with a better boss day and playing a bit more like Moab and other little bits, could have gone to the world record, but definitely 40 mils I could have done then. But to make sure our account was safe, we just ended on, I think, 37.5 mil. I'll put a screenshot up. And yeah, I got our fourth T1, which was cool. And I think that is probably going to end King Boo the Somebody period. So yeah, I really think their name's correct, because we've gone from someone who had only gotten one T1 before that was then found to have been non-fully legit, or non-legit, yeah, non-legit is the word, non-fully legit. You can't be non-fully, you're either legit, you're not legit, are you? So, yeah, and in this period we've gotten 4 T1s, we've got a T1 press. We're definitely someone now in the grinding community. If you're like thinking of grinders that are good, you're now at this point probably mentioning my name, whereas before you are definitely not. In hindsight, I thought maybe people would, but definitely now. Only now you're probably recognizing me as somebody. So yeah, that's going to wrap up this period of time. I don't think too much else really went down. The formation of the UK gang happened around about this time. I think after the June grind. Yeah, basically just a bunch of friends who are British, me, Devil, JO, Nellius, decided that we all talk to each other quite a bit. Let's just make our group chat so we can all talk about similar things rather than trying to feed through each other. And yeah, the UK gang was formed, which we might make a video on that in the future as well, another potential video in the future, but became the ultimate grinding squad, the top grinders of the 2023, at least the early period, the most domination. And I'm not sure what to say, leave it for a video I suppose, but yeah, that will wrap up the period of King Boo to somebody.
It's time!
Alright, now our final segment of, or the final part of the grind recap is King Boo the best. So we can start this with our 7th T1 that we gained. We include the alcohol one just because it makes it 10 over, which is nice. But yeah, King Boo the best. First T1 was start of February - end of January, I think. And yeah, so it was versus Capulet. Basically, we had work experience going on at the time, so it was a bit crazy going for this grind. I don't really know in hindsight why I actually went for this. It was a bit silly, but yeah, so no one else really grinding at the time. I think I was ill and injured, so I got the 3 main values, which if I was going to do a no-life grind, I was going to do a grind not calling it no-lifing, I would need at least 2 of them to go, and I was ill and I was injured, so I couldn't run, and I couldn't really socialise that much, but I still had work on, and it was quite a big bit of work, so I'm not sure that quite justified doing the grind, but oh well, we did it in the end, and yeah, started pretty much on pace, a little bit slower because we had a lot of time missing in the days, and it felt like Capulet had all the time in the world and was pretty much unlimitedly grinding. And yeah, he would go ahead, we then come back on after work, we just catch him up, like we call him up at some crazy speeds while he was playing. We probably had our best win rates. I feel like this was the only grind where my opponents have actually been ones which you can properly grind against at good pace. I remember I did, on the Friday when I was fresh, I did 14 hours doing over 10 wins an hour for the entire 14-hour period, which sounds like it's like when you normally say what pace you can grind at, you say I can do like 10 wins an hour, like comfortable, but like when I was measuring a lot of Sweat's world record paces, the average was like, when he did his practice, and I was measuring it beforehand, he was averaging just under 9 wins an hour. Like 10 wins an hour is a very strong pace to hold consistently, and I held it consistently for 14 hours, which was kind of nuts. But yeah, he ended up taking a bit of a lead, got a little bit ahead of us in boss day. Ended up finding that he could, or from a rumor that he was very likely account sharing with someone else. I don't know the ins and outs, I can't really remember them anymore, but it was pretty much confirmed that he was account sharing. And actually had someone who said some modder who logged on before and said that from a different source said that he knew they were account sharing. Do you want me to just like get their account flagged? And I was like, well, if they're account sharing, go and flag them. So they signed into his account and he wasn't on boss day, and he flagged them, and that basically just saved me from having to grind for boss throughout the night. And if they were sharing or boosting at all, I don't think they were boosting from their paces, but if they were doing that, they wouldn't have been able to do that and get the T1 on us. So we got another T1, but that wasn't on our grinding account, that was on our just normal account, because I didn't originally think of grinding and then just kind of ended up happening. And yeah, so because of that, Capulet had a bit of a lead, but he ended up getting flagged that week. And we both said to each other, I said to him unlucky, as I was going to like say anything like, "Oh, you're sharing unlucky," or anything like that. But yeah, he made the mistake. He got flagged for it. 2 weeks later, we actually both said we didn't grind for a while, but then 2 weeks later we were both grinding again. I decided it on the Thursday. I remember this was probably that grind we had our most dominant performance over 14 hours, our best win rates over extended duration of time. Probably going about 90% then as well. This is what I should always be hitting, but things happen, making mistakes, we can lose out on that. Our next tier 1 was probably, our most dominant one. So we decided on a Thursday that we were going to grind on our main account because it wasn't too high, nothing was too crazy. And so we only did 30 minutes of Moab Pit before BFB. But we then did, I think, 21 hours of BFB free power-ups on the Friday. And then on Saturday was Spire Day. And I did like another, how long did I do? I did 24 hours on that day. And we basically went from before only having done the half an hour of Moab, only like 5 wins or something, to being 7 mil clear after Spire, which meant we didn't need to play T0 Day, which was nice. 7 mil clear of Capelot and Stonica, I think, were the other two kind of behind. And I was kind of mad, just being so clear so quickly. So I barely only had to do I didn't have to do any T0 at all. I did a couple hours just for fun, but there was no need to grind it at all. And then I did a couple hours of a little bit of boss as well, but I think the score they ended up getting to after all the boss was lower than what I did after the end of Spire. So utter domination then by me. So that was pretty fun. And got us to T1 again. We then didn't grind again until our world record grind. Only a couple months later, actually. A little bit after Devil's former world record, which was just under 47 mil. We got our 47 mil, taking the world record. Not by as clear, we did much less in span. We played a lot more hours, we got the world record hours. But we managed to just hold it together. We used a lot of the things we learnt from our grind against Galaxy, that kind of failed one. And we managed to keep our body together much better because we completely deteriorated on that other one. And by learning what we had learnt in that, getting very good Moab pace, but not even playing it nearly as well as we did in the last 2 grinds in free power-ups, especially the first one. If we played the way we did in the first grind of the year versus Capelot, then we would have easily gotten my stretch goal, which was 53 mil. I basically had a minimum goal of 40 mil, like a B goal of world record, and then a stretch goal of 53 mil. Playing much better. Like, we didn't hit very good paces at all, only like low 8 and high 8 mil area from around 20ish hours, so we really didn't play very well on this. But or in boss, our boss was horrible as well, really horrible win rates, way lower than all my practices as well, which was pretty annoying. But with just those things going right, could have hit our 53 mil, but we still got the world record, still super happy with that. And we've obviously got, for all the grinds, we have our grind recaps, so you can check all of them out if you want to see any of them in a little bit more detail when we were when all the grinds were a lot fresher in my head. So definitely check those videos out if you haven't already. Maybe I'll try and add them links to those videos in the description if I can remember. But I've got a lot of editing to do for this video, so I may forget. And that brings us into our retirement grind from just a few weeks ago. We were playing, we were hitting really bad. We started really well on the BFB days, but then we just started hitting bad win rates again. And I was thinking of a lot of things which I could do to improve, but I just couldn't implement them. And I just decided, getting a bit older and that, not improving, not as good as we used to be. So quit while we're kind of ahead on top, get our last T1 badge, and end our grinding career on that. So that's what we did. But we got the T1 again, nice and clear. Well, it was only a couple mil in the end, but we were 5 mil clear going into boss, and then we didn't do all the bosses, and it's kind of chill. Just had some fun. But our final grind done. We did like 70 hours. I think, I'm not sure we put it in the recap video, but it was about 70 hours, I think. So nothing too crazy, but just pretty much just clutched up in BFB. Didn't do too much Moab, and then ran for everyone in BFB. I guess there was also we were going to do the T3 Blue Badge Boy account, but that got unfairly flagged. Some people have been spreading rumors that it was because I like hacked the XP powers on, but I may have accidentally defamed them in the last video. So the last video in the grind recap, because it's mainly Sloth Luck, I think, who's saying that. I've seen it was spreading that, but it might not have been him in the who was the T2 then flagged last minute. But oh well, I spread rumor about him. He's spread rumor about me. I'm telling the truth. Yeah. Don't know. Anyways, that kind of wraps up our final grind. But I guess the cool thing about that one getting flagged is that it does mean that we're basically 10-0 in the last 10 grinds. We got 10 firsts, or 9-0 technically. Yeah, we're calling it 10. Some people call it 10. You can call it 9. I guess I kind of call it 9. For this video, we're going to call it 10 just because ending on 10 sounds a lot better than ending on 9. Sounds like I need to do one more grind, but that's not happening. And yeah, that kind of recaps the period of King Boot Best, with a bit of a fade at the end, but we're still kind of ending on top. We're still ending as a big name. When we went into that grind, people who are other good grind or solid grinders are not going to grind, stopped grinding, don't want to grind anymore because they know that they're going to get beaten, or they're going to have to do so many hours, and I'm just out-houred them, and they'll lose on that. Our strength on the last one towards the end was definitely our just ability as a marathon runner to be able to have so much energy, so then to do a low-energy task like grinding balloons, I can just do it for longer than anyone else, comfortably. And yeah, that wraps up the period of King Budapest.
Nice.
Alright, now to wrap up the grinding career video, we have just a few questions. I'm going to answer a few questions that no one has asked, but I'm just going to answer anyways. And then a summary of what we ended up gaining in game, and like title, I guess you call it titles, yeah. Alright, so first question, was it all worth it? So has been a lot of hours, as we have just described all those grinds. There was a lot of hours spent, but I think it was worth it, to be honest, in the end, because I wasn't doing this on weeks where I had stuff that I was avoiding because of the grinding. I was doing it on weeks where I couldn't do anything else, weeks where I was ill, weeks where all my friends were busy and I was like injured or something. I was doing it on weeks where I couldn't do anything else with, and I was taking that time where I couldn't do anything or would like not be able to socialize, and I was like playing, like doing like streams on YouTube, like talking a lot in times where I wouldn't be talking a lot, which really helped me get through those times. Like I don't actually remember a time I've been ill recently where I felt like really like isolated or anything like that, and I think this has been a really big help with all of that. But yeah, so I think it was worth it, and yeah, I think I got to an ability, like ability-wise, I think I got to an ability where I could be I'm pretty happy with. Like I know a lot of people in Discord say, "Oh, call me bad," but at the end of the day, I went 10-0, getting T1s, 10 T1 attempts, the last 10 T1 attempts, all successful, and became a feared grinder at the end of it. So yeah, in that regard, I think that was worth it as well. Do I, oh no, that's the last one. Would I recommend changing anything if I could like go back, do it again? It's an interesting question. I think I wouldn't change anything, yeah, because like, let's say there was bad moments. There was like a lot of losses earlier on. There was like the second week of the first top 3 prestige grinds. Obviously sharing was never the right thing, but I've never like, that was on an old account that then led to new things that were even better being made. I wouldn't have made any other accounts other than the 0 to Hero one and the old one. I wouldn't have the Cooler King account now if I'd not done what I'd done. So and maybe I would have been tempted to share later into the future or something, gone like scared into that or cheating, but it like finally got stamped out of me that it can get found out and removed. So that kind of got poured into me early on, so I couldn't change that. And then the other thing was when I did the Grind vs Galaxy, doing the too many hours of BFB, too many hours, and really like suffering on the Sunday, and yeah, just doing all of that, learning what hours I can do, and forcing myself to like eat even when I'm not hungry. Learning all of this stuff allowed me to then get the world record later on as a knock-on effect of that. So everything I did wrong then helped me become a better player. And that then leads us on into the third question. Do I recommend grinding? I'm going to say yes. Don't do it every week. Don't do it when you have other things you can be doing. But if you're a bit ill, I got my 3 pillars of life, being social, sport, and work. If you can't do at least 2 of them, and the other one's a little bit affected, you can go for a grind. If you enjoy it, of course, if you're having fun. And maybe stream with some friends, stream it on YouTube's our YouTube channel. And so you can learn, that practice of learning things and overcoming challenges is a good thing that you're going to be able to take into later life. Good skills that you can transfer. And then another one is, if you want to think about work, there are jobs out there where you get paid on commissions, where you just need to work crazy hours and then you can get crazy money. If you can just transfer your skill of being able to grind the same thing into work. If I can transfer my skill into working life, into a high paid job, I'll be able to pump up so many hours and get crazy money on commissions. So if I can do that, I know I have that skill in my back pocket. So that's just that knowledge of being able to grind out like that is if I can transfer that into a job, which you should be able to, because the grinding was only focused on accomplishing something because I wanted to accomplish it, and getting money and the need to get it for a living is definitely going to be a strong enough motivation that should I want to or need to, I'll be able to really dial in and do that. And at the end of the day, grinding a task to become really good at it is what makes you good at anything in life. So I guess I would recommend grinding, but I wouldn't recommend it all the time. I recommend doing stuff like how I did it, so you can still make it social, you can still have fun, you're not going to get burnt out from it. And play to your strengths. So mine is being able to do loads of hours, but a lot of them being at lower quality. I wouldn't say that's a thing that's bad about me. I'm just playing to my strengths. That's what you got to do in life. You got to do to what you're good at. I'm a marathon runner. I have incredible endurance, so I'm going to do more hours on the weeks that I grind. Whereas other people who maybe have better focus but can't do as long, I need to really focus on winning the games that they can win, and literally not losing any games which is possible to win, but then not being able to do as many hours. That's the alternative. But anyway, so the grind results, everything we've ever done, we're going to include the shared one as a T1. So what I've gained from all of my grinding is 10 T1 badges, 1 T2 badge, 2 top 3 badges, 2 top 1 prestige badges, 3 top 2 prestiges, and 1 top 3 prestige badge. I've approximated and added up all of the approximately all the medallions I'll have gained on all 3 of my accounts, because all the medallions were gained, not modded medallions or anything like that. The total, so if you sell all the, if you don't include gold projectiles, if you just sell the value of that, I've got 3 accounts of gold projectiles, so 85 mil from each. And then you just add up all the rest of the medallions. I've gained about 420 million medallions, approximately. And then the 3 titles that I'm going to end the grinding career on is the former world record leaderboard score in 47 million medallions, the current world record for the most keys gained for a top clan, and for a top clan going for a chest 11, which I guess you could put separate altogether, being 470,000. And then the world record for the most hours played within 1 week, which is 117 hours. Crazy. But that's what the Stamina King does for you. Anyways, that's the grinding career wrapped up. Comment below something from your favourite part of the video. As we think we said at the start, I can't remember what we said in the intro. That was a few days ago. I'm recording this ends bit on a different day. But thanks for watching the video. I hope you didn't all watch this in one part, or didn't just stop what you were doing and watching it. I hope you were watching this while you were grinding. Anyways, took a lot of effort, so if you just finished it, if you could like it as well, that would be much appreciated. But have a nice day. See ya.